All right, let's talk about something huge. AI in hiring. We hear all the time how it's going to revolutionize everything, right? But here's the question. Is it actually fixing the problems we have with finding great people, or is it just making a messy situation even bigger? Let's get into it. This right here, this reveals the not-so-glamorous truth. Most companies didn't jump on the AI bandwagon to find the perfect person for the job. Not at all. They did it because they were drowning in applications, scrambling to hire faster, and they just didn't have enough people to do the work. It was a move born from desperation, really, not some grand innovation. And that leads us to a really critical point. AI didn't break hiring. Hiring was already broken. All AI did was shine a massive, unforgiving spotlight on the cracks that were already there. Cracks built on these weak signals, these proxies that we've used for decades to guess who might be good at a job. Let's start with the biggest offender of them all, the resume. Think about it. A resume tells you where someone's been, their past job titles, who they worked for. But what it absolutely does not tell you is what they can actually do right now. It's a history book, not a capability test. And that, of course, brings us to the keyword game. For years, screening was just a fancy word for matching buzzwords on a resume to a job description. But who does that reward? It rewards people who are great at writing resumes, people who know how to game the system. It doesn't find the person who actually has the skills you need. And finally, the interview. We place so much importance on it, but what are we really measuring? Most of the time, we're just measuring how well someone can talk, how they present themselves under a whole lot of pressure. And yeah, that's a skill, for sure, but it's a terrible predictor of how they'll actually perform day in and day out. So, with all these broken parts lying around, AI was pitched as this great solution. The idea was, hey, let's just automate the whole thing. It'll be faster, it'll be more objective, but, well, when you just slap a layer of fancy tech on top of a fundamentally flawed system, you usually just make things a whole lot worse. And this quote just nails it perfectly. Think of AI as an amplifier. If your process for finding talent is already flawed, if it's based on weak signals like resumes and keywords, then AI is just going to execute on those flawed instructions, but way faster and on a much, much bigger scale. You just get bad results faster. And the risks here are serious. If you train an AI on your company's past hiring decisions, it's just going to learn and repeat all your past biases. It can completely strip out the human nuance you need for complex roles. And it creates this false sense of certainty. A candidate gets an 85% match score, and suddenly everyone treats it like gospel, even if the logic behind it is shaky. But maybe the biggest risk of all, your teams just stop thinking for themselves and start outsourcing their judgment to a machine. So, is it all just doom and gloom? No, not at all. The answer, the real solution, is in a massive shift in how we think about this. We have to stop trying to use AI to replace human recruiters and start using it to augment them, to give our teams better tools and better data so they can make smarter decisions. So, what does that shift actually look like? Well, this slide lays out the two paths perfectly. The wrong way is stuck in the past. It's about automating the old, broken stuff, parsing resumes, matching keywords, and trying to replace human judgment. The right way, though, that's focused on the future. It's about assessing actual skills, matching what people are truly capable of, and using all that great data to inform and empower human judgment. It's the big move from pedigree to actual proficiency. So, what is this right way? Well, we call it skill-based screening. It's pretty simple, really. It just means you stop asking, oh, where'd you go to school, or what big-name company is on your resume? And you start asking the only question that matters. Can you actually do the work? You find out by looking at things like work samples, coding challenges, and other real-world tests of their skills. And the data proves this works. An internal study from CloudHire found that when you use AI for this kind of skill-based screening, you cut down on false negatives by a whopping 35%. Now, false negatives, those are the amazing candidates that your old resume scanner would have just tossed in the trash. You start finding these hidden gems that everyone else is overlooking. Now, this is so important. This is not about getting rid of people. Not at all. The best approach, the one that actually works, is a hybrid model. It's about creating this powerful partnership where the AI and the humans each do the part of the job they are best at. This table makes it super clear. Should an AI sift through 10,000 applications to find a baseline of skills? Absolutely, that's what it's built for. But should it decide if someone's personality is going to click with the team? No way. AI is for scale and finding patterns. Humans are for context, for nuance, and for making that final critical call. And again, you can see it in the numbers. That same CloudHire analysis found that these hybrid models, where AI does the screening and humans make the final decision, lead to a 40% improvement in quality of hire scores. This isn't just a nice idea. It gets you dramatically better results. So where is this all going? This whole shift, from pedigree to skills, and from simple automation to true human augmentation, it's completely changing the game of how we find and hire great talent. You can kind of see the whole journey laid out right here. We came from a past that was obsessed with resumes and where you went to school. We're in a present that's all about AI-augmented screening. But the future? The future is even cooler. We're talking about a world of skills graphs that map what people can actually do and making hires based on predicting how they'll actually perform in the role. And that brings us right back to the beginning. AI is not some magic wand you can wave to fix your hiring problems. It's a mirror. It forces you to take a long, hard look at your own process and ask yourself what you really think a good hire looks like. Is it someone with a perfectly polished resume, or is it someone who can just flat out do the job? And that leaves us with the one final, really important question. The technology is going to show you the cracks in your system. It'll expose your biases, your bad assumptions. The real question isn't about the AI. It's about you. Once you see what's broken, what are you going to do about it?